Hey guys, my name is Justin Rowe, and I am the founder of Impactable. So if you are watching this, you are probably one of our new hires, and you might be excited, you might be nervous, depends on how much you know about us and the company, what we do. So I'm going to walk you through kind of like our origin story, how we got started, how this thing started growing, what the vision is for the future, and kind of how you hopefully fit into all of that and kind of maybe introduce you to the vibe of who we are, who this band of misfits kind of are, so you can get a feel for this whole thing as well. So I actually came from, of all things, the restaurant industry. I got my start working in restaurant management. I moved up. I was a corporate training manager, so I trained salaried managers, and then I discovered LinkedIn. I used LinkedIn to help find opportunities for myself. I kind of created some weird lead generation approach where I was sending connection requests to people who might have opportunities and then introducing myself to them. And it worked really well. I grew a really targeted network. I became a visible restaurant operator on LinkedIn in my city, which isn't hard to do because there's not, more than one, if that, LinkedIn or restaurant operators trying to dominate LinkedIn in any given city. Like, so I actually found a lot of success. Um, I actually became, through that process, I met an investor. I became a franchise owner of a small restaurant franchise. One restaurant grew into four. And that was probably the biggest opportunity that I had ever had up until that point. Things actually slowed down a little bit. The pandemic, well, I guess that hadn't happened yet, but it was a sandwich shop franchise, a Potbelly sandwich shop. So I was part owner of four stores. I was kind of like the district manager of those shops, and I had a really cushy schedule. I had evenings and weekends open. I wasn't taking a very big salary because the whole idea was to actually get paid once we pay off the loans, and it was a long-term play. So I actually started a LinkedIn lead generation agency as a side hustle just to kind of increase my income. I started on freelance sites and Upwork, and it started to scale. And it was really just great timing, being in the right place, right time, right amount of curiosity. It quickly became more than a side hustle. It actually became my full time job. I leaned out of the restaurants. I still had the ownership, but I leaned into the LinkedIn lead gen startup. It was called Link and Learn, and it became a full blown agency. We had 20 clients, and then 50 clients, and then 100 clients, and then 210 active clients at one point. We had worked with over 1,000 companies in 30 plus countries, and it became kind of this big machine. I brought on Jonathan and Josh and Carly and Joram. If you get to meet him, he's from Kenya, but we started growing our team. It became a full blown agency. We actually, it got so crazy that things actually started to break a bit because we were just at capacity. We picked like a low ticket offer and we were going for scale, but it was growing too fast. So if you hear people kind of like talking with dread about us growing too fast, now that we're on LinkedIn ad side, it's because we've been through that before and we're trying to be cautious. We're trying to build smarter this time. But around the height of all that, early 2021, I actually started getting approached from investors who are looking to actually buy us out. I wasn't really looking to sell at all. I wasn't interested in leaving. It was, the best paying gig I've ever had. It was my first startup agency. It was successful. But due to a variety of reasons, one of which was I knew we needed to make a pivot into LinkedIn ads. And right around that time, LinkedIn started cracking down on outreach. So I felt like it wasn't the most stable business that we were building. I got the right offer at the right time from the right person. It was kind of the perfect offer. So we had a big data investor. This guy, he founded SoftServe, this 13,000 person company. He founded that. He founded a string of other companies. He owns a series of data companies, wealthiest man I've ever met. But he actually made a proposal to me to buy the majority share of the company. And only if we kept our team intact, if I stayed on to run it, I took him up on that offer. So in 2021, our agency was actually acquired we started to make the full pivot into LinkedIn ads. We stopped all advertising for the outreach side, made a hard pivot into LinkedIn ads, and spent probably the next 10 months just pivoting. So for every outreach client we were losing, we were replacing them with LinkedIn ads. So we weren't necessarily making progress, like growth progress with revenue. We were just spending that time, effort, and money pivoting. I would say now, this is this is September in 2022 right now. We have made that full pivot. We have over 100 active LinkedIn ad accounts right now. They are higher paying, they last longer. It's not something that's going to go away. This business is built on much sturdier ground than it was a year ago when we were acquired. So it's been about a full year since the acquisition. We are switching everyone to salary and W-2. We're introducing benefits here, hopefully in the next few months. And the agency is just growing. And paired with the investor at our back, it's basically like a funded startup now where we have a safety net. We have someone with immense resources behind us, and not just, ensuring payroll, which is great because that was always, something that would keep me up at night when that was coming out of my bank account. But we have someone who's investing into the business, building automation tools for us, building a custom CRM, building website visit identification capabilities, building multi-channel automation, like things that I would never have been able to touch because I'm a marketer now at this point, but data and some of these other things were outside of the realm of what I was comfortable with. So that's kind of what you're getting yourself into. We are a scrappy band of, of startup people. We have kind of a quirky mentality. None of us come from marketing. Everyone comes from sales or telecom or service or retail or hospitality. And so we have yet to really hire anyone who has like marketing expertise. And it's also because what we're creating is so different than what's out there. Like I think this is one really cool thing to try to get across. We are a LinkedIn ads agency, and for whatever reason, that doesn't really exist out there in the world. There's not. I don't know if there's even 10 other LinkedIn ads agencies anywhere close to our size. So the two things that we'd probably compete on is the number of accounts managed and the amount of ad spend managed. So I don't believe that there is anyone out there who's managing more LinkedIn ad accounts than us. So the amount of accounts managed, we might be number one in the world. I'm pretty sure we're number one in the United States. I do believe that there's other LinkedIn ads agencies out there who are managing much bigger clients. And so the amount of ad spend that they're managing is probably beating us. So our goal is to be number one in the world. So just think about that for a second. That's kind of crazy that in LinkedIn ad space, we are already one of the largest LinkedIn ads agencies in the world, managing more accounts than probably anyone. I haven't actually found a LinkedIn ads agency who's managing more accounts than us. So you're not just like part of a Facebook ads agency or a website dev, where it's like just hundreds of them and it's hard to differentiate. Like we are in a space where it is unique. There's not that many of us, and in our space, we are big. And part of that is my presence on LinkedIn ads. Jonathan and Josh and more of us are being active. We've created this atmosphere where we're attracting big startups. We've worked with many funded startups. Actually, one of our clients right now is one of Mark Cuban's startups. We advertising, I think currently right now, for an event that Barack Obama and some heads of state and some really famous people are speaking at. One of our biggest clients was valued at $6 billion, and they had, they're spending $10 million plus on marketing a year. So we're not just like a small, even though we're a small, scrappy group, we're actually working with billion-dollar tech unicorns, funded startups, and some of the biggest companies and fastest growing companies in the world, because we've positioned ourselves in that space where there's just not a lot of other people who are LinkedIn ads agencies, and we are positioned at the top. And LinkedIn ads is poised to grow. It's not going to go away. It's not something they can regulate. It's not like the LinkedIn outreach side that was fragile, like building a castle in the sand. So this is an exciting, great place to work for that reason, for the opportunity, for the growth, and also just for the amount that you can learn here. I'm excited for this thing to grow. We're shooting for a 50 to $100 million valuation in the next 5 to 10 years. And it's probably gonna be fun, frustrating, exciting, but we're happy for you to be a part of it.